What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk presents Two Cousins Talking Batman. Me, Lawrence, my cousin Chris, we jump on here and we are going into Batman the Animated Series Season 1. We're making our way through. And today, Chris, what do we got today?
Today we have Appointment in Crime Alley. It's a good episode that talks about Batman's origin, talks about the loss of Batman's parents, introduces us to some of the people that are important in Batman's life, and let's get into it.
It's a good episode, man.
It is a good episode. You know, when we talked about what we're going to talk about, I saw it and I was like, you know what? We just came off of a two-parter. I was like, let's just do a kind of one and done episode that is kind of important in the series, right?
I think not just the series, like just Batman's lore of Crime Alley and Leslie Tompkins, like all the things that this animated series kind of created that you see in all the other Batman content, or at least like little sprinkles of, like, is these episodes for me.
Yeah, I agree. Want to get it going?
Let's go.
All right. So we have our title card, our very, very, very detailed painted title card. This was season 1 because we're still in season 1, episode 12. The air date was September 17th, 1992. Directed by Boyd Kirkland, written by Jerry Conway, and music by Stuart Malcolm. Quick synopsis. Every year at the same time, on the same day, Batman makes a pilgrimage to meet Dr. Leslie Tompkins. But this time, a series of dangerous distractions keeps the Batman occupied, causing him to miss his appointment. Next to that, Roland Daggett has hired some arsonists to make sure that part of Crime Alley goes up in flames to make way for his new condo development. This was kind of a very Scooby-Doo-ish episode.
Wait. No, it wasn't. Was it?
Yeah, I mean, the bad guy was like, I would have gotten away with you if it wasn't for you meddling Batman. Like, it was all it was is they're not trying to run drugs. They're not trying to be like a bad guy. He's just trying to freaking buy some property mad cheap.
No, he's trying to blow up an entire freaking city blocks.
Yeah, so he can buy the property mad cheap, so he can build like a strip mall.
I missed the Scooby-Doo, but now that you mention it, it's
so let's get into it. So we see Roland Daggett. It opens up with Roland Daggett looking at a.
Hey, can we talk about that real quick? Because
yeah,
that makes no sense. As I wasn't thinking about this, but like, Crime Alley has to be a buyer's dream anyway,
right?
Because there's nothing there. It's what the Starbucks has been doing to gentrifying place. Like, it's the worst place in Gotham City.
But it used to be the best place back in the day.
Right. But for Daggett to want to have Crime Alley, I figure it wouldn't. First of all, he's not paying out of pocket anyway. But second, like, there's a lot of legal options he could have taken that would have not even been an issue before just blowing it all up. Because he still have to buy the property.
So here's my thing. He originally tried. He was like, I'm going to try and get this approved. And they make a comment that it wasn't approved. So his next idea is like, they're not going to approve it. I'm just going to blow everything up, and no one's going to suspect me for being like this terrible bad guy.
But like, who's not approving this, Chris? It's like, that godforsaken part of the city that no one dares to go to, that's crime ridden. I want to buy that and turn it into something that can help our economy. No.
So Roland Daggett's actually the good guy in this, and we're just against progress.
Until he decides to blow everyone up. But I would say, like, who said what? Why did the mayor say no to this?
Right.
Makes no sense.
So fast fact here, Roland Daggett was played by Ed Asner, who passed away a couple years ago. But he's a prolific actor.
A lot of these guys are, man. A lot of these are men and women.
I have one more when we get to it. Another actor that I didn't realize was in this, and then once you watch it, after you hear it 100%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Another fast fact, this story is based on the comic book story. There is no hope in Crime Alley. From
Ooh,
Detective Comics 457, March 1976 by Dennis O'Neil. So,
that's
okay,
good.
you're a big bet. This is like a very mustache twirling like moment, right? So he's talking to his arsonist and his crime boss, and
The
they
arsonist is named Nitro, by the
Nitro,
way.
of course, his name is Nitro. But so he builds an entire mini model city just to blow it up on his desk.
Chris, in Batman the Animated Series, every episode has to blow something up.
That's every
Okay?
single episode, regardless, has to blow up.
Regardless, if it could be models, it could be real buildings, it's got to blow up. But yes, this, but this is the part of this. This is the reason why I love Batman the Animated Series, because something they can take something hokey, but still blend it with their gothic gritty, and it works. I don't know why they make how they make it work, but this kind of works. But yeah, you're right. This is it's very Scooby Doo, but it works for me.
I would have gotten away with it, if it wasn't for you meddling back. We have a close up of him just talking to Nitro. Nitro's giving him the business. He's a weirdo. He's like 9 o'clock. Everything blows up while you're in your speech. So while you're doing your speech in front of everyone, this place is gonna blow up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, this is a great idea, Nitro. You've done it again, Daggett. You've done it again.
No comment. See, man, when you start peeling the onion back, yeah. I wasn't peeling the onion back on it. But yeah, you're right. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, we see Bruce training
Brolic.
as he always is, just jacked.
Just
Jacked.
jacked.
Look at those delts.
Yo, I forget how jacked he is because, in his suit and in the bat costume, it's fairly boxy. There's not as much detail, especially when he has that cape over him. But here it's like, when you see the details, it's like, yo, he's a beast.
He's a beast.
He's a freaking beast.
Let me ask you a question. Is Bruce taking a enhancement? Is he eating that tremboloni sandwich for lunch?
I will save this city at all costs and put my body on the line. I don't care what happens to me. It's hard for me to justify that guy saying no to performance enhancing. It's hard for me to justify him saying no.
Swole is the goal.
He's on the sauce.
He
If
is.
anything for recovery. At least.
Of course,
for
yeah.
recovery.
There's zero recovery from what I've heard.
Oh my God. It does nothing. It's snake oil, Chris.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
So we see a protester. This is interesting. So we talk about, there's an episode that Lawrence does not like that we eventually will
Are we
review.
talking about the Chain Gang joint?
Yes, the Forgotten.
God.
Salvo Smith right here was one of the characters that was in the Chain Gang. So in the episode, he's like, I think he was the one that was either working or doing, the black guy was doing volunteer work. I think he was just working down there. And so the continuity is pretty cool.
I did not pick up on that. Wow.
And then it was interesting is Leslie Tompkins, when we talk about how this is based on Detective Comics 457,
Mhm.
that was Leslie Tompkins' first appearance in the DC universe. And it's showing her comforting Bruce Wayne the night her parents were murdered.
Very interesting to add her in because, up until that point, it was just him and his father figure. But introducing some type of mother figure that late, 1970s, it's 30 years after Batman came out.
Right.
That's a big change.
It is a big change.
We haven't gotten Leslie Tompkins or a version of her in any live action anything.
No.
We've never gotten a mother figure for Bruce in any way in live action.
We haven't. But I think she's interesting. She's an interesting figure. I like her.
Yeah.
We see she recurs in the series. There's that one where he steals that medical laser, or they steal that medical laser, and they shoot Bruce in the head, and he gets a concussion, and she takes care of him and stuff like that.
I forgot about that one. But I know, yeah, she definitely comes back. But I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Okay, so here we see Batman. He's making his way. He has his appointment that he keeps in Crime Alley every year the night his parents are murdered. He's trying to make his way. He goes there with Leslie Tompkins. Little girl stops him. They're
all right, this is where I got to say something.
Go ahead.
The little girl her mama, and then the woman saying, Leslie, you better be careful in these streets. They really introduced Crime Alley by showing like more black people than I've ever seen in Batman
Yeah,
the Animated Series.
that is true. And the black people have the most sense. They're like, look, you can't be walking in these
You
streets.
can't be walking in these streets.
What do you think this is my home? I'm not afraid. Like, you crazy woman.
Like, mama.
It's tough out here in these streets.
Which, like, it's weird, man. When you start thinking of Batman, everyone's like he's the most realistic superhero, and he sort of is. But like, can you imagine this billionaire living in a city where there's a crime alley, and a part of his conscience is to save the city, but not use any of the billions?
Nope. Well, he has to preserve Crime Alley for nostalgia purposes. If he
Apparent, who's apparent? If he has nothing to brood, he needs to brood.
Exactly.
I'm like, why does this city exist, billionaire Bruce Wayne?
It exists to fund his indignant rage against the world.
Apparently, because he's not trying to save the city for real.
No,
at all.
You people can live in squalor just to have my motivation to keep fighting crime.
It's hard to argue that.
Yeah.
Except I'll say in the Batman, they made a point to make it so it's politically corrupt on the highest level in Gotham. So even if Bruce wanted to use his money, he probably couldn't.
Right. That's true.
Here, the mayor's a nice guy.
Yeah, Mayor Hill's a good guy.
He wouldn't say, no, Bruce, you can't. Well, maybe he would. They told Daggett he can't, so who knows?
Who knows? Then we get a shot. So they're tearing up the lady's house, and they're like, "We told you to get out." The little girl points. I jumped out the windows.
He comes up the lady's house, and then Batman breaks her window.
Wait, so the lady's already getting her house messed up.
It trashes her light.
It's like, let me tear up your house a little bit more. Don't worry, though. You'll figure it out.
It would have been so dope at the end of it if he just took a wad of cash out of his belt and placed
it's like
it
that.
Just like
threw it in the air.
like a freaking Fat Joe video from back in the day.
Oh, man.
This was a good fight. I was happy that these guys didn't lay a hand on him. So many times we see, and I like it. I like Batman struggling. But I do like times where it's just like, this is a Tuesday. Like, you guys don't even faze me.
So Batman makes quick work of the goons. And here's the black lady. Like, look, you may not want to be walking out in these streets.
You know, making the most sense. And when Leslie Thompson's like, no, I'll be all right. No, you.
There she is. No,
stop.
I'll be all right. I'm going to put on my handkerchief
and look like, come on, man.
Yeah,
this is Crime Alley.
This is Crime Alley.
Put some respect on his name.
Live in Crime Alley, Leslie Tompkins.
It's interesting she chose to stay there.
I mean, this is her home.
But she also
lived there
helps
for 30 years.
Yeah.
And she does. She does. She runs the clinic and does all this stuff. And
yeah. I like how they allude to the fact, and I think they did it here. I forget. There's a movie, I think. I forgot where else in Batman lore where they allude to like crime the Waynes' death. I think they said it in the Nolan trilogy that crime escalated when the Waynes died.
Yeah.
Crime Alley wasn't like this.
It was because I think they showed like a flashback when they were on a train and they were talking about building, and then after that, I think it was Batman Begins.
It still had the hood and stuff, but it was like their death, like, you know, they're not supposed to die on these streets. It changes everything. And here, Crime Alley did not look like this.
No, it was Park Row.
Park Row. Because why else would you take this kid to a movie? Why would you take Bruce Lee, Great Ghost in the Hood?
Exactly.
Because it wasn't the hood. Well, it might have still been a little bit.
But look, it's the hood now. Look at that. It looks like the South Bronx. So we see an overhead shot. So you see Leslie Tompkins right here walking through these streets. Gangster.
No gun, no nothing.
No gun, no nothing. So she walks past. She sees. So I didn't grab it, but she walks past. She sees a blasting cap. She picks it up. She's like, "What's going on? Let me investigate." So number one, I'm in the worst part of the city, right? The worst city in the country, allegedly. So I'm in the worst part of the worst city, and I see some shenanigans going on. Let me go.
Yeah, her survival instincts are imagining somebody who grew up, who's been living here for 30 years.
Right, right. She could just call the cops, like there's something weird going on, but no, she's like, let me investigate it myself.
But you
So then
can't.
she,
The cops aren't coming. If this is really what I'm thinking it is, the cops
yeah,
aren't coming.
it's true, but
But
you
you're
know,
best friends with Batman, so
right, you're about to meet up with Batman. Why don't you just go meet up with Batman and be like, yo, Batman, something's going on. Go check it out before we drop our roses.
I don't know.
So they do that, and then they grab her, they tie her up.
Now look, I was watching this part, and I thought like, for the sake of the story, they can't just shoot her in the head, right? Because
Right.
Leslie can't die like that. But that would have been the most humane thing these goons could have done. They say it's not personal, it's business, and then take her out as quick as possible. No, instead, you want to tie her up and have her watch a clock and wait to be blown up.
I mean,
That is terrible.
it's a big jump from arsonist to murderer, but I mean, I
But
guess if you're
but not just murderer. Like, I'm gonna let you sit here and suffer and watch. Like, not
right,
even just
right,
take her out real quick, bang. Like, no, it's I don't need you to suffer. It's not personal. This is very personal. Hearing her
yeah,
cry and hearing her fight. Yeah, I was like, you guys are
you
maniacs.
guys are jerks. So Batman's on his way, and then of course there's an issue, right? So he gets stopped again. Where the guy, what happened? He was complaining because
Daggett was doing he lost his job or his livelihood because of Daggett, and he wants the world to know, the little guy and wants the world to know. So he chose another little guy to
yep.
like kill in front of everybody or delete in front of,
So
I don't know what we can say on YouTube, but destroy in front of everybody, and
right,
Batman grows up.
right. What I liked about this is he's talking to the SWAT guy, and he's like, "Don't send your men in. They'll get the hostage." Wait, did he say shot? Or what? I forgot what he said. When he get
He
the oh,
said, "You'll make it worse if you go in, or
and
something could happen to the civilian if you go in. I'll do it, or
he's
something."
like, "And who are you?" And he looks, and you realize, "Oh shoot, I'm talking to Batman."
And then Batman goes up and makes it worse because they both almost fall to their death.
Yep. So
Like, literally, Batman makes the whole thing worse. This guy starts opening fire and he starts shooting at random places.
Batman, there's holes all through this episode.
Batman's not actually trained
He's not a hostage negotiator. He's
at
just a dude in a
all.
suit who punches people.
That's it. And you let him go up there.
Like we need a negotiator. You know what's gonna solve this? Punching to the face.
That's it. And then Batman, this is terrible. This is terrible.
Oh
He
man,
doesn't de-escalate this at all. And
no.
then the guy starts shooting. Batman swings his rope around. The scaffolding or whatever falls. Batman miraculously catches these guys. The platform that falls would have crushed everyone under them. Where to go? Who knows? It's not like, this is terrible. Batman, this is terrible. Stick to punching people in the face. This is
Stick a
pretty
bunch of
bad.
people in the face. So
It's pretty
Batman
bad.
gets these people down, and then he goes, and then he gets finally he gets to Leslie's place. The black lady's like, she was looking for you, and then Batman's like,
Right.
oh shoot, let me go find Leslie.
No,
What do you?
he sees the guy who picked up the cat.
Not yet, not yet.
Doesn't he look through the window here?
Yes, but not yet. So he talks to the black lady first. The black lady says, I didn't know you were her friend. He's like,
Oh,
what?
right, right, right,
So
right.
then he's like, let me break into her apartment. Let me not knock on the door. Let me just break into her apartment, and then go through her stuff. So I mean,
You're
okay.
poking
So
so many holes. Chris, I didn't pick up on any of this
so
except the bad hostage negotiation. I
okay.
was like, that's the guy.
So it's important. We need to see this because it kind of shows like what the life. It's kind of gives us a flashback without giving us a flashback, right?
Right.
So I guess we can forgive it. So it says Park Road tragedy claims doctor and wife while son looks on. I guess. And then you see Leslie. Park Road Dr. Leslie Tompkins covers Bruce Wayne, the victim's son. Look, you're a chalk outline. Yo, you think this would have? You think the police have no suspects? Do you think this would have flown back in the day?
Uh do we ever in this canon, do we talk about him ever capturing do we ever
No,
deal with that?
No, they never address him catching Joe Chill. They never do.
So he might have here, he might not have here. We just don't really touch it.
Right, but they're outright talking about a double homicide here. I don't know if this would have flown in like modern day shows. They show the chalk outline and everything of his parents and stuff like
Oh,
that.
you talking about the fact that it's on network television for children?
Right.
Oh, right. Oh, that. No, 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 no,
Oh, just the
no, no, no.
murders.
Oh, just the murders? No, no, no problem. No, no.
Yeah,
Um, it's kind of wild.
it
I
is.
think it's hard for us to imagine because we don't live in a place like that. But imagine living in a city where you kind of do have a king and queen. This is like the good leaders of your society
Right.
got gunned down on the
It's
streets.
like Bill and Melinda Gates when they were together, I suspect. Right.
But more, because I think the way they talk about Thomas Wayne in this series is like he was more than just the wealthy. He was like a fixture of Gotham as a
Yeah,
leader, as a human being,
and he was a doctor too.
and he was a doc. And oh, I love it. In Batman Begins, they kind of made it make more sense, where Bruce was like, I forget it. Maybe they just alluded to it, but the idea that he's a freaking billionaire, but still chooses to be a doctor.
Right. Right.
It's a
Right.
choice. He's choosing to be a doctor.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So it's like I can see society collapsing
Right.
because of these two people going down.
Exactly. So after this, we so right here after this is when we see the blast cap guy, the homeless guy with the blast cap. He's
Yeah.
just a regular dude that's like, what happened to my blast? Where'd you get this blast cap from? He's like, I just found it. I was gonna sell it for a couple bucks. But then he's also a coward too, because he's like, that poor Dr. Tompkins. Like she's probably helped you mad times. You see him like,
Nah, Chris is the hood, man. No, you mind your business. That's how he's been alive so long.
that's true. That's
Not my
true.
business.
That's true. So we see the Gotham.
She got caught slipping, man.
That's it.
That's it.
She got. That's
She
it.
got nosy and she should have kept it moving. I don't know what to tell you.
I have to tell you, she should have told her about the business.
I told mind the business.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have walked home by yourself. Hey, you got caught
Hey.
slipping.
So this is the Gotham Better Business Council dinner featuring Roland Daggett, the Gotham BBC.
Stop.
It's the Gotham BBC. They all love that BBC, especially her. She loves the BBC. Oh man!
Did you plan that? Have you been waiting to say that the whole
No,
time?
it just came to me right now because I'm a degenerate. And you know where my mind goes.
Oh man! So yes, they're at the BBC.
Oh, all right. So now, so Batman's driving.
He's just trying.
I've never seen such frustration in Batman's face. He sees a runaway trolley, and instead of being like, "Oh no," he's like, "Damn it, man!
Come on,
Come
guys!"
So,
And what he does here is pretty amazing. But I'm like, you retrofit the Batmobile to do for reverse thrusters, and it can go flat on the back, and like all this in case you had to take down a trolley. Like what?
but you know what though? When the car, you see the
He's just come on.
come on, just back in the car. But when right here, when the car turns sideways, the car should shoot out this way. Not the reverse thrusters are useless at this point. You see the tires are popped. He flips up the. This is kind of cool. I don't know why you'd have this feature.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
What
so-
made him build that feature?
Yeah, so he has these things, and he flips them up like, bloop, just so he has
That's pretty cool.
a better whatchamacallit.
But in all fairness of physics, that Batmobile should be able to turn corners anyway.
Yeah.
And he winds up stopping the trolley.
Yeah, look at that right here.
And that's a painting right there, dude.
That is
Look
a
how
painting.
different that looks.
Yeah, it does. It does. And then after this, we see him do the thing from was it Batman Returns, where he puts the armor around the Batmobile.
Oh yeah, that man. Tim Burton's Batman changed every piece of superhero content. Of course, everything about Batman.
Right.
Like this stuff didn't exist.
Right.
Adam West had a convertible, guys. What if it rained? Don't ask those questions.
Don't ask a question. If it rains, you're on your own, Pete. You're on your
You're
own,
on
Peter
your
Simpson.
own. Man, dopeness. Dope.
Yep. Oh, so this is my other fact. The guy who played Booker was Jeffrey Tambor.
Jeffrey Tambor.
He was
Jeffrey.
Arrested Development. He was on the
Oh,
show Transparent. I think he won a bunch of Emmys for. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So he's a pretty well known actor, and he's playing like a bit role here, which is kind of cool. And then so now you watch it, you hear because I don't know if you watch it Arrested Development, which
Of
is
course,
a
I
huge
did.
fan
Of course,
of
I did.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's hard to you watch that and you see him as freaking George. You hear him as George Bluth because he's not doing a voice; he's just doing his regular voice.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
No clue.
Yep. So Batman confronts Nitro and Booker, and then once he does it, so did you see on the truck they're driving?
Olsen. Now I see.
Jay Olsen and Sons Photography, which is obviously a reference to Jimmy Olsen, who's a
Wait.
photographer for the Daily Planet.
Jay Olsen and Sons Photography.
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not pick up on that.
Pretty cool, right?
So they already started needling the idea that there is a Superman in this world, even though it doesn't come up till much later. But
right,
wow, good eye, man.
Yeah. So then Batman grabs Nitro and is like, Nitro. He knew him by name, so he already knows. So Batman knows a lot of the big players because he probably shakes him down for information and stuff like that. So he knew Nitro.
And these guys are so surprised to find Batman in the middle of a crime in Crime Alley. Batman, what are you doing here?
If any place, this is exactly where Batman belongs.
What do you mean? I'm Batman. They were so shocked. They're not even that discreet. They have a truck full of explosives.
He shows him the blasting cap, tells him, figures out what happens, and then throws him in the truck with all the explosives. And then
I thought that was pretty cool.
Do you know how dangerous this stuff is? Batman takes it, then Batman breaks off the.
I thought that was pretty cool. Batman was like, if you do something stupid, it'll explode. If you sit there and shut up, nothing will happen. It's on you.
Yep.
That's kind of beast mode.
Yeah, it is.
And that's also a guy that's like, I've had a rough night. I don't have time.
I have no patience for your nonsense.
None.
And then we see a close up of Leslie Tompkins.
And she starts to like cry.
Of course, she thinks it's over for her.
Got caught slipping, man.
So, here's the thing. The gag used to gag Leslie is white. Yet when Batman's holding and moving it, it's yellow.
Oh, Chris.
It's white here. And then it's yellow here. So it's yellow matching her headscarf, but they didn't use that when they tied her up the first time.
Ooh.
Continuity.
Man, well done, sir.
Yeah.
Well
and
done.
we see Batman swinging.
Hey, Crime Alley is trash.
That place needs to blow up. Was Batman actually helping Crime Alley by not letting it blow up?
I mean, jeez, man.
So Leslie goes, tells him, don't worry about me. Untie me, just save the people. There's people in that hotel. So Batman goes, saves those. Roland, the explosion goes off. Roland Daggett starts speaking about, oh, what a shame. How could this happen? Blah, blah, blah.
Batman shows up.
He shows up. Yo, Roland Daggett got ice water in his veins, man.
Doesn't flinch. Doesn't even move.
Doesn't even flinch. He's like, what? I am appalled to hear this. I could not believe something like this could have happened in Gotham City. And you know what? He wins at the end.
Yeah, completely. He walks away like he gets away. If anything, this might make them sell. Like giving them the okay. Like, right. Oh yeah.
So even after all this, after I've gotten away with it, it wasn't for you meddling back. He still won, and all we see is him roll up in his car. He rolls up the window, and I don't know why they made Batman look so like scared in this reflection.
I thought he looked grieved.
Yeah, because then Leslie Tompkins jumps in and tells him, we'll get him, he'll get caught eventually, blah blah blah.
Because Batman is dumb. Sorry, Bruce. There's some guys you have to fight with your money,
Yep.
and Daggett is someone you can fight with your money.
Right.
Come on, come on, Bruce.
But
Um,
now they're together. The explosions are done. Now it's time to keep that appointment. And they put two rows, just like in Batman '89. Batman, Rich. That's the one with Michael Keaton. Rich, if you're
ah,
watching, he he has two roses wrapped in newspaper, drops them down, and we see Leslie. Yo, let me ask you a question. This is the goal. Why is he there as Batman?
because this is where he was created. This is his birthday,
But
Chris.
but wouldn't it lead people to help figure out his secret identity?
Let me tell you something about Crime Alley. We mind our business in Crime Alley. We ain't checking for. And if anything, if anybody saw Batman around in Crime Alley, they going the other way because everybody's probably into something they shouldn't be in.
That's probably true. That's
And
probably true.
yeah, I have to imagine this. It's not. It's pretty barren.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And it's very interesting to me that yeah, he chooses Crime Alley. You
Right,
know, he doesn't choose. It's not their. It's not their grave. You know,
right,
it's where they were viciously murdered. That's where he goes to pay his respects.
right,
This
right.
is weird.
It is
It's
weird.
beautiful, but it's haunting. It's haunting.
So we get a shot back to that picture from the paper, and we find out. So the fact that this was one of the director Boy Cooker's favorite episodes, due to his gritty, introspective looks at Batman. Likewise, Bruce Timm, who's a showrunner, said that this one episode makes him cry at the end.
Dude, this episode is the Batmanist episode without Batman doing Batman things. Like you
Yeah,
get to the root and heart of this man
right,
without it ever because man, it's 24 minutes
right.
and he got to get to Crime Alley.
He got to.
And as a kid watching this, why does he? We know now, but why does he have to get there? Why does he get there? He's all these people getting in his way. Why does he get there? Got to save this. Why does he got to get there? He gets there. Oh, to put roses down
That's it.
and have a single moment. He has one moment a year where he allows himself to be consoled.
Right,
Only
right.
one where he allows another person to hug him and he allows himself to
To
feel
open
like
up and be vulnerable.
to be that little boy again. He gives
Yeah.
himself 5 minutes a year to be that.
that's,
He needs
that's
therapy.
it.
He needs therapy. But
Yes.
that's it. That's what that is. Because especially in this version, he doesn't have a father son kind of relationship with Alfred as much here. I mean, you see sprinkles of it, but it's not like we've seen with Michael Caine and Christian Bale's Bruce and Alfred, or even
Right.
Jeremy Irons and Ben Affleck. Theirs might be a little close. If Jeremy Irons got more grit to him,
I
but
love Jeremy Irons as Alfred.
well, it looks more like a partnership than
Right.
like this is my father.
Right.
Although
Right.
they might have
Yeah,
that.
you do see it in the series later in the series too, because at one point, I think they thought that they found out who Batman was, and I think Alfred says, "No, it's me." He tries to take credit for everything.
Oh yeah, I mean Alfred is ride or die, and Alfred might look at him like a son, but like Michael Caine dropped tears at the thought he might lose his son in this war against crime. Like
Right.
they had such a father son relationship, and I maybe even Pattinson too, because he says you're not my father, which means yes he is, Bruce.
Yeah.
But here, so Leslie Tompkins fills that nurturing gap.
Right.
And once a year, even Batman's allowed to cry.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Is that your 3D printer going
That's
off?
my 3D printer.
Yo, this okay for y'all. This guy's over here making toys. He made a Ninja Turtle. That is crazy, Chris.
Check out that articulation. And then you have this. I just dropped one of the sides, but then you put the sides like right
You
there.
made those size too?
Yeah, of course.
Wow. We just derailed, but look at that, guys.
I dropped the other side.
Wow.
And then these are all the failed attempts. I got a bunch of legs and crotches.
Oh, that's how I like it, man. Oh man. Well, that's our show. That's Batman the Animated Series, Appointment in Crime Alley. Let us know what you think. For me, I love this episode.
This is a great one.
I love Batman in this world. You know me. I like Batman detective noir,
Yes.
gritty, real street level kind of hero. So this is right up my alley, man. But let us know what you think. Yo, we have a whole playlist with other Batman episodes. Go check those retro episodes out. We also got toy unboxings, toy huntings. We go over comic books. We got movie reviews over there too, and we
Yes, we
also
do.
have a podcast. Hit the link for the podcast. Got an Instagram, got a TikTok. Make sure you like, subscribe. We'll be back. Same bat time.
Same Bat channel. Peace.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. We're talking